21st century sectors represent the foundation of the fourth industrial revolution. The S&P Kensho New Economy Indices were designed to track emerging technologies that are reshaping traditional industries and driving this seismic shift. Financial advisors with an eye on the future are using these future-based tools to meet client goals today. Hello, I'm Paul Murdoch, and joining me today for a practical look at the S&P Kensho New Economy Indices are Futurists Lisa and Mark Bova, co-founders of Linity Financial. Lisa, Mark, thanks for being here today.
Thanks for having us, Paul.
Excited to be here, Paul.
So Lisa, to start, can you walk us through how do you manage portfolios today?
Sure, Paul. We utilize goals-based investing with a tactical approach. So part of the way we start with our clients and the goals is to learn a bit more about their history with money, about how it was with their family. And from there, then, we look at their near-term and long-term goals. We actually marry their emotional feelings about their money with their goals, and then we get to a risk budget, okay? And that with that risk budget, it allows us to help know how hard or not their money needs to work for them. And from there, then we're able to overweight, underweight, or go neutral a sector, segment, or asset class, or even risk.
Great, thanks, Lisa. So then, Mark, given this approach, why was it important that you found a solution, and in this case, a passive solution that was using artificial intelligence in its process?
Yeah, Paul. So we're all aware of the amount of data. There's so much data that's being created. We were looking for a way to effectively and efficiently be able to go through that data to help us make decisions as it pertains to our investments. And in that due diligence, throughout that process, we learned about the Kensho New Economy Indices. And we think that the solution is a perfect one. Kensho has a meaning, the word new awakening or beginning, and we think how appropriate with what many refer to this time period as the beginning of the fourth industrial revolution. And so as futurists, we believe too that as financial advisors that we're going to be using our financial advising skills as well as machines going forward. It'll be a blend of the two.
So you mentioned that word futurist. What exactly do you mean by that?
Yeah, Paul. So thinking about technology today and how it might affect the way that we live in the future, and positioning portfolios to take advantage of that. So for instance, part of the way that we look at investing is through the prism of ESG. So let's use energy as an example. So technology has allowed us to harvest oil from the earth differently today, and it's allowed the United States to become one of the largest exporters of oil in the world. But with alternative fuels or sources of energy like solar, wind, geothermal, hydropower, we believe that as consumer demand, if it was to stay the same or even grow, that those new technologies that are coming online will help to meet that demand. And so that's what we're referring to with regards to being a futurist and just identifying those opportunities that we can begin to see today and how they're going to affect the way that we live in the future.
And there's a little more as well. If you look at the race to space, where companies like Amazon, Virgin Galactic, SpaceX, and Boeing are involved, and you consider that they're bringing products and services to the forefront that are really part of the innovations in deep sea and deep space exploration. The S&P Kensho Final Frontiers really invest in companies like that whose products and services are a part of the future. And so when you look at people like Elon Musk, okay, so Elon Musk has said there's a 70% chance that he'll move to Mars someday. Well, I don't know what you think about that, but reality is the guy's pretty smart and he's accomplished a lot of the goals he set out to accomplish. He's a futurist like no other.
Great. So Mark, what are some ways then that you're accessing these 21st century sectors?
Yeah, so using the Kensho, the S&P Kensho indexes, it allows us to, at the very least, have a toe or a place within the segment of the market, even while we continue to do our due diligence and look at individual stocks that make up that sector of the marketplace. Additionally, we look at additional value that we get is by getting the diversification within that sector. And so not really running the risk of being in the wrong stock, but still having access to that segment of the marketplace. And thirdly, with regards to just leveraging the technology that the S&P Kensho Index methodology allows us to use is extremely helpful for us and our clients and our process.
So Lisa, in conversations we've had, you've shared how the Warren algorithm that's utilized within the S&P Kensho New Economy indices is really a time saver and removes some of the burden of having to do research. Can you walk us through that?
Yeah, Paul, the Kensho New Economy indices essentially put their money where their mouth is, so to speak, as machine learning and algorithms are utilized to find the constituents. And they're scanning millions of documents when they're able to find those constituents. And one of the very important things is with respect to machine learning, it's data. And with the Kenshos, the data, the abundance of data that Standard & Poor's has now been married with the Kensho New Economies indices. And that data is so important in machine learning. Now, that's machine learning. I'm mentioning that because one of the things we as a firm have realized is with this new economy, with the fourth industrial revolution, with products and services and trends moving at the speed of light virtually, we really needed to have some other source to help us ferret out the appropriate companies or the best companies going forward. And so machine learning is something we were looking for, and the Kensho New Economies indices has it built in. So it's really a good marriage because for us, and when we see the abundance of data with S&P that the Kenshos can utilize. So it saves us an abundance of time.
And I would imagine that gives you and your clients some peace of mind, is that you can let the index and the AI that is inside of it do the heavy lifting, and then you can find the tools that are tracking the indices and those market segments that you've identified that you want to get exposure to. And because it's in a rules-based strategy, it's like you've done the hard work by finding what you want and then let the index do that heavy lifting.
Absolutely, absolutely, because rules, reliability are very important to us in how we invest, and the Kensho indices provide that.
Well, Lisa, Mark, thank you so much for your insights today on the S&P Kensho New Economies.
Thanks for having us, Paul.
It's been great to be here.
If you want to learn more about the S&P Kensho New Economy indices, including the latest data and research on these innovative sector tools, you can visit us at spdji.com/topic/new economies. Thanks and have a great day.